President Obama's comment that the world will require more resources in Iraq is essentially the neocon line. There has been a push by neocons for a return to Iraq in some form, and you see this in incremental steps. First, the removal of Prime Minister al-Maliki and the replacement by this new Prime Minister. You see there's been this movement by ISIL around the Haditha Dam. There's been conflicting news stories that the dam has been in danger. The fact of the matter is bombing campaigns are not effective measures against ground movements such as ISIL, because they're able to rapidly disperse and blend in with the surrounding area. So the bombing campaigns are essentially, the bombing raids by the United States are just fluff designed to gin up support. The real objective of the neocons is a return to Iraq, and a return to the blueprint of PNAC, the Project for the New American Century. It's not really an operational organization anymore. They evolved, they developed their game plan per se, and you can still go online and see the map of the Middle East, in which the United States would exercise a tremendous amount of hegemony in the Middle East, which was designed to essentially box Iran in, and then allow the United States and Western nations to raid and harvest the resources in the Middle East under the auspices of holding the resources in trust. This is the real objective. ISIL is the boogeyman created by the West that would enable the West to return with boots on the ground. These are the resources that President Obama is talking about. It's very important to focus on language, and when they talk about the needing for resources, that means boots on the ground, a return to Iraq, and essentially implementing the blueprint that was developed by the Project for the New American Century. We've heard about, this is the second time that there has been operations near this dam, and we talked about that there were successful operations, and then what happened was ISIL captured an air base in Syria and brutally executed around 250 Syrian troops. And there was no mention, there was no outrage by President Obama about the execution of the Syrian troops. Why? Because President Obama and the West and the neocons want to remove President Bashar al-Assad. So you have a lot of duplicitous, very duplicitous language and motives on the part of the West, and of course this all leads in. It's in Israel's interest. Israel has been, pushing for a removal of President Assad and the Assad regime for many years. So there are a lot of behind-the-scenes agendas that created ISIL, and ISIL is being used as the boogeyman, because America cannot function without a boogeyman. And it will be interesting to see people's reaction when ISIL is unmasked and al-Baghdadi's CIA-issued credit card is revealed for all the world to see, when and if, I do emphasize if, all of this plays out the way the United States and the West wants it to. Now, thus far, the West's adventures in Ukraine have not played out the way they wanted to, and maybe things won't play out the way they want it to in the Middle East.